Hello my beautiful friends. In today's video we're gonna go back into the sketchbook and do an update for the month of July. So let's get right into it. Hi guys, it's your artist Nio and we're back with another sketchbook update, and this one is for the month of July. Now here we are getting back into what we ended off in June, and we started here in July. Now in July I did a bunch of little birds that I sketched out. This coincides with the day at the aquarium. A little birdie met us, so I snapped a bunch of photos and did a few of our little friend. Now this is also some dollar store watercolor here that I decided to outline a few of them just with some metallic. I really love that shimmer. I wish that was the same for the paint markers from the same brand, which is very sad, but I will have a full review on these markers shortly. Now with this one, you're gonna see that there is some sand from this date. So we went to Port Dover. What a wonderful beach there. They also have some palm trees at the bar that they have there that are real live palm trees that are actually surviving in Canada, and I think that's pretty cool. So it has like this boardwalk with a lighthouse. I did this before I got summoned back into the water, so this is all that I was able to complete, but at least I was able to do some crayons. So I brought my crayons and I bring this sketchbook. So this was live on location. Coming in at a few days later, I took a lot of pictures from that road trip when we went to the beach. So we'll have the lighthouse here in all its glory again, and obviously there are some flowers. I do love pen and watercolor, so that's what I did. I drew them all out in pen and went on top with some watercolor to add some color. I may do this again in my watercolor sketchbook because I really like the composition of this through the fence. This was an interesting flower that I found in one of the pots that they had around. And also this was in one of the mini gardens, or they had like flowers all over the place. So this was a nice flower, and then this was an interesting building, which I obviously kind of screwed up on the perspective on it, but it also makes this page actually feel very cohesive and very sketchy as well. So this is one of my favorite pages from July. Moving on from July, these were some stingrays that were at the aquarium. The Ripley's Aquarium, if you haven't gone, I think is really amazing. I got mixed reviews about that aquarium just because some people really enjoyed the fish and learning about fish and actually seeing nature. Other people, I don't know what they were expecting from an aquarium. They thought it was really boring, that all you did was walk around, looked at fish, and that was it. I was like, you might as well have just gone to a pet shop. But to see fish that you don't see in a pet shop, I think is amazing, to learn about the different fish and just to see the fish, especially like the jellyfish. I really enjoyed the stingrays and almost got to touch one until some little kids started like splashing water, but I digress from that trip. There's a lot more footage and drawings that I want to do from them, so stay tuned. I probably might have an art adventure because I'm still on a high from going there and actually seeing that. And it was funny because a month later my daughter actually got to go with camp. So then we got her. I really love her. I love how I got the moon glowing. This was again done in pen and colored in crayon. I love crayon. If you guys know me, I am the crayon queen. And I really love how this turned out. I didn't get to finish it the way that I wanted to, but I think I have it down pat to the idea that I actually do want to make this a painting. And I may want to finish this later on, so we'll see by the time I'm done this book if I will end up finishing it or creating it into a bigger painting. So we got this page. I did this page, I started a face and then didn't go back into it. So when I got the paint markers, I wanted to try them out more, and I decided to go back to graffiti. I've been doing graffiti for a really long time, and I love the tag name Love. And in my older sketchbook tours, you may have seen Love in the way that I draw it and put it in graffiti. So I decided to do art by now in graffiti with the paint markers, which actually turned out pretty good. I liked more of the yellow and the orange than the blue behind, but we'll see what other things I do with graffiti, because I'm kind of missing graffiti and may want to dabble more into that. So July 10th, I was drawing my dog. He kept moving. So I drew him, and then he actually stayed still. So I drew him quick before he finished moving again. So a little quick pen from life, purple pen again. And then we have her. I really like her. I feel like I messed up because I try to make it like more like she's in the clouds and there's like some mists of like mountains. Like you can see here, I kind of got it good here, and then here I don't know what I was trying to do. But this is working in a palette that I don't normally use, which is pastel markers. I never really work in a pastel palette, so when I saw the pack of markers at Winners, which was all pastel colors, I decided to get it because I don't normally work in pastels, and it's been a while for alcohol markers. I will have a review on these markers shortly, but I am enjoying playing around with them, and this was the first attempt of playing around with those markers, and you'll see more of these markers in the sketchbook. All right. So July 15th, I was in office. I grabbed my sketchbook and a bunch of the paint markers. I didn't have all the colors with me, so I just did her with the very few colors that I had, and she actually turned out pretty well. I was sick this day, so I only like did a face here. And then to fill out the page on another day, I did her eating ice cream since it started getting hotter, you know, island vibes, ice cream, summer vibes. And these two are pencil crayons. July 19th and 20th. So July 19th was just a girl sitting down in green ink, and then I ended up doing this fire hydrant. I don't know why, but there's this fire hydrant that I usually walk by, and every time it looks different. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna make a painting, so I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna get the paint markers and paint it out. So that's what I did here, and then I used some of the yellow on that day to go around here, so you have that page. It kind of, I don't know, evens and balances it out, makes it cohesive. And then back to my favorite, which is the watercolor and ink. Now, this was a park on Lake Shore in Mississauga. It has this little man-made beach here. So I took a lot of photos, and I did draw a lot of things from life, and I will show you that shortly. But on this day, after going to the park, I snapped tons of photos. I did draw from life as well. These weren't from life. These were just from the photos when I got home. And so I went over with some watercolor. And if I didn't, I feel like they would be very boring. There was a lot of swans that I caught, like this family of swans and like the baby swans. So that's the swan in all its glory in the water, and then a seagull that was on top of like where the washrooms were. So that's part of the roof. And I don't know, just this page put together with the watercolor, the ink, the way that it was drawn out was pretty nice. So this is a really nice spread from July. Now, I was kind of bored because obviously when I don't have my phone, I don't have references. So I'm trying to draw much more from life. So this is just a dresser. Obviously, you know, it was like 8 o'clock. And yeah, there's like a Stitch toy, a little piggy bank, eyeglass case, and I think a jewelry box on top of the dresser. So if you pay attention to my daily sketches, you would know that this is a redraw, and I do not remember what year this is a redraw from, but I did use the pastel markers again, which I told you I was using more and more and more, and getting used to the pastel palette. So I really like how this ended up coming out. I did not show the colored version, but you will see in the daily sketch in the shorts or the TikToks that I did the pencil version, and this is just the colored in version. So that is it from this sketchbook for the daily sketch in July. But also I do want to add that I have also been working in this little small travel sketchbook. It's like $3 from Dollarama with 288 pages. I've been seeing a lot of people complaining that, you know, it's very hard to bring like a big sketchbook. This is just the regular 8x11 size, regular printer paper size. And a lot of people find that this is like too much to bring around. So I just wanted to show that you can get a really small book with a lot of pages in it. And if you can't get a small sketchbook, you can also get a small notebook, which you can still use as a sketchbook. I've seen people use bullet notebooks and all kinds of things. I personally have used sketchbook. I've used printer paper, and I've also used notebooks as well. Banana sticker and a random sticker. So I just want to do a little tour in here. These are some things from June. This is from July. So what I've done is, if I cannot carry this around because a lot of times we're in the rush on the go, I don't have time to bring this or pack it, I tend to always have this in my bag, in my backpack, or my purse. It's small enough, as you can see. I didn't have my phone, and this was a sketch from before, and on this day I ended up finishing it and coloring it in with some Prismacolor pencil crowns. And the colors are just so juicy for July. Again, in the clouds. So I had to bring the car to the mechanic, so I was sitting and waiting for my ride. So I sat on the curb and drew the other side of the curb where it had this bush. Then doing laundry, I drew from the laundry room window. They're doing some construction, so there are some big boards here. Then behind there's some grass. And then there's some trees, and then there's another gate, and then there's a little hill, and then across the street from that there's more hills. But anyways, I drew in the laundry while doing laundry, making sure that the soap was getting into the machine. I drew what I saw outside. Then this was that beach that I was staying down at Lakeshore in Mississauga. There's boats, there's the water. So I did a few landscapes. I drew one of the baby swans. I have so many pictures, I need to continue drawing them out. Another landscape from the same beach, just looking a different way. Then also some flowers that were in the garden when I went to my in-laws. Then more of those flowers that were blooming, and as you could see, most of this was pretty much the same day. So sometimes like sketches do, that's what I mean, like I try to do my sketches within 5 minutes. If I have more time, then I do more, and if I don't, then it's okay. Sometimes these sketches take me a few seconds, sometimes longer. Okay, so that was all for June, and then this is starting August. I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, so that was all for June. So I'm working in this and also in this as well. So I'll see you in the next update for August. I have so much great things to show you, so make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss the next update. Make sure that you like and share this with others that like sketchbook, daily sketchbook updates, sketchbooks, daily sketchbook art. This is your artist, Nayo, and I'll see you in the next video.